Welcome to Inner Voice of Knowing podcast. I'm Kaye, a shamanic leadership coach and healer, guiding you through life with a foot in both worlds. When you understand the terrain of the inner landscapes, the mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic, you will become the leader within your physical life, both personally and professionally. After all, the power of change is in your hands. Let's get this journey started. Welcome back. I'm really excited to have you here with me, continuing this journey in episode 2. So episode 1 was a little bit of an introduction to me and an understanding from the perspective of flipping our mindset. Instead of seeing ourselves as physically first, we see ourselves as soul and energy first, and that guides us and drives us through our physical life and choices and actions. So let's look at the fact that we are energetic beings, because we need to know what our own energy feels like. Energy is interacting all the time, doing this beautiful dance and this beautiful weave. So more often than not, you can find, and it depends also how sensitive you are, but this does impact everybody, that sometimes your thoughts are not actually your own thoughts. Sometimes your feelings are not your own feelings. That someone else's energy, therefore thought energy and emotional energy, has plugged into you. So it's really important that we begin the process of learning to know what our own energy feels like. So I'm going to take you through that because that's a foundational point. And then we're going to start doing the journey of turning our vision back inwards. Because you probably heard me say before, the truth is beyond the shadow of the belief system. Therefore, it's all the false stories and beliefs that we have taken on through our childhood, through things that have been said to us, through the lenses that we have filtered those experiences and those words to develop these false stories and beliefs. And it's important that we call them what they are, because words do have power. So if you just say, oh, my subconscious beliefs, you are instilling that it is a belief that is in the driver's seat of your life. And yes, it has been, because while it's been unconscious, it's been driving you with unconscious decision-making and responses and choices. But once we understand that and we bring a conscious awareness to what is going on, and we're going to take the journey of learning how to understand what's going on, because a lot of the time we don't know what's been driving us. We just make choices and have reactions rather than being proactive. And it's about understanding the landscape, understanding the language. And remember, language has power. So the minute we call it false stories and beliefs, and we know how to navigate to start moving through and to the other side where the truth is. And the truth is, you are not broken. You are whole. You are a part of the source of all that there is. There is no more beautiful, more loving, more abundant than that universal source that actually is the truth of who you are. So we need to navigate through those illusions that have become intrusions. And the first place to start, like building anything solid, is the strong foundation. Now, I've been teaching this process and sharing this process for 33, maybe more years. And when others start applying this, they just can't believe how powerful it becomes and the change that it takes. And if you don't know what your own energy truly feels like, How do you know when you're being impacted by another? So I'll take you through the process. Just sit comfortably somewhere. You can close your eyes. This is the thing I do first thing in the morning when I'm in the shower and last thing at night. And depending on what's going on through my day, I may even do it a third time. But my bare minimum is first thing in the morning, last thing at night. So you call all energies before you connected into you other than your own. Now, I like to call upon a flaming sword of truth because it's swift. It disconnects those cords and those flame seals the ends. And then I call in all energies from behind. You know those sayings, stabbed in the back, people talking behind my back, what we perceive to be as negatives. So we call in all those energies connected into us other than our own, and we bring down that flaming sword of truth, because the sword disconnects the cords, and here's the key. The flame seals the ends. We don't want to be draining of energy. Some people like to cut the cords and then clamp, but I find this swift and easy and precise. Then you're going to call upon a light that is sort of a bluish white light. In fact, in its purest form, it's actually crystal clear, like a beautiful stream. But when that stream gets force behind it and it becomes the waterfall, have you ever noticed it's so white, it's got a bluish tinge to it? And this is the light that we're going to bathe ourselves in. It's actually called the Christ light. It's not about a religious Jesus Christ. It is the Christ energy of transformation, of cleansing, healing, and expansion. Very powerful, energetic light. So you're going to call on that bluish white Christ light, and you're going to let it flow into you, soothing the mind and the eyes, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the neck. It's going to flow and cleanse through the bloodstream, soothe the nerve endings, strengthen the bones, repair the organs, and rejuvenate the cells. Relax the muscles. You're going to let that shower all the way through you and out through the soles of the feet and out through the fingertips. Then, like a vessel that has been completely filled, it will flow over and around you. So you've called all energies before you connected into you other than your own. Flaming sword of truth, swiftly disconnecting those cords, allowing the flame to seal the ends. You're going to do that from behind. And then you're going to bathe yourself like standing beneath a beautiful waterfall in this bluish white Christ light of transformation, cleansing, healing, and expansion. So much so that that light is flowing to you, through you, over and around you. You can expand that out as far as you like. But remember, it's flowing all the way through the top of the head and out through the soles of the feet and out the fingertips. And then you're going to sit for a moment and feel your own energy. Now, there are times, many years ago, I used to teach a group of teenagers. I think it was a year ago. The teenagers are now adults, married, grown children. There was one of the gentlemen that had been part of that group who reached out to me and actually said he still uses that technique and it makes a difference. Now, here's the thing. If you're feeling emotional and you want to know Is this my own? Do that cutting of the cords. Do that cleansing. If it belongs to another, it will just instantly drop away. If it remains with you, it's yours. Now imagine the busyness of your day, the interactions that you have, the phone calls that you have, the shopping centres that you walk through, wherever you might be in work. That's an interaction with all those energies. Sometimes if you're in a relationship, you can just call on that cord from your solar plexus to your partner's solar plexus and you'll do the same thing. And you might suddenly find that your anger or whatever you were feeling just drops away because it wasn't yours. And when we stay clear within ourselves and we go, that's not mine to deal with, that's not mine to carry, that's not mine to process, then you're more likely able to stay centered and strong and hold space. In other words, bear witness to what someone else might be going through. It's a powerful process. So anything that I share with you on this journey, I ask you, give it a week. Take note of how you feel beforehand and after. It's a deeply relaxing process. And make up your own mind. Try it out for yourself. And if you have a different concept than the flaming sword of truth, that's fine. Remember, as long as the cords are being cut and the ends are being sealed. So there's a return to your own energy. Now, the next thing that we want to do is learn how to also be present energetically in the now moment. Because so much of the stress, the anxiety, fears, the discord that we can be experiencing is because we are held hostage in the past energetically or harpooning ourselves to a perceived future. Therefore, we are living outside of the now moment, and there is only this now moment. And in this now moment, there's peace, there's joy. I gave myself an intention last year. I give myself an intention every year and then I build upon it. But the intention that I gave myself, that I anchored to for the whole year, was to be in the now moment and experience joy regardless of external circumstances. That takes practice and discipline, and, there's a journey to that, but it's also a choice. Now, this podcast is all about getting you in touch with your inner voice of knowing, with those three components: knowing, power, potential, source, soul, self. Clearing and knowing your own energy is part of that process. Tapping into the intelligence of the heart center. There is a miniature brain within your heart that's sending more impulses than the brain actually sends out itself. The heart center is the bridge between the inner and the outer realm. If you just put your hand on your chest and do a little bit of pressure, and then we're going to do some breathing. This is a very quick and powerful way to bring yourself into the now moment. The process that I take you through will bring you into the now moment. It will connect you to the intelligence of the heart. It will dial up, attune you to your inner voice of knowing. And the words that you use and the breath that you do if you do it for 3 minutes or more, those words will start to permeate into your subconscious. So it's a very simple breath. Remember, hand on your chest, a little bit of pressure just to bring your awareness there. You can tap it for a little bit if you like. And you're going to breathe in for the count of 4, in through the nose. The words that I'm going to attune you to begin with are love, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. Because this journey is about bringing that love, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness to ourself first, to all those aspects within us throughout childhood that have felt hurt, abandoned, not good enough, unlovable, unworthy. As those stories go on, those false stories and beliefs. And we need to bring that to ourself and not complicate it with trying to understand, well, what parts am I bringing it to? We're just bringing it to all. So as you breathe in, you're going to say in your mind, love, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. That's for the count of 4. You're going to push that breath down to the base of spine. Love, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. Now, what you're doing is you are plugging in to those lower energy centers where all that emotion is held. Most people will only breathe up into the chest because if they do a deeper connected breath, that's where all that hidden subconscious false stories and beliefs also sit emotionally. So we want to plug in. And then as you draw that breath up, you're going to drop the jaw and breathe out love, compassion, understanding, forgiveness. So the intention is you're creating a connection to the inner, you're plugging in and sending it out into the world. So the love, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness is coming into self. And as you breathe it out, it's to all others. Because we are all one, we are all connected. And we all deserve love, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. This creates a pathway, a connection, an intention. An intention, when infused with feeling, and this is what we're wanting to do, to fire up the feeling, because there are aspects of self within you where the energy has become stuck and stagnant. And these are very simple processes to start the unmasking, the unlocking, changing your vibrational frequency, letting those aspects know it is safe, and beginning the journey of turning that vision inwards to supply that to ourself. Some people might say this is a process of self-care. Therefore, it is a process of self-love. It is also a process to transform, to begin to move, direct the energy, to free yourself. And then these tools, these processes, these maps, whatever you would like to call them, become your lifetime companions. It's about learning how to look after ourselves energetically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and to move to the other side of that spider's web of those illusions that have intruded, to take those false stories and beliefs from our subconscious that have been driving us so we can get back into the driver's seat of our lives, so that you can get back into the driver's seat of your life. And again, take note. How were you feeling beforehand, and then how do you feel when you've done that? Now, those 4 words can change. When someone's feeling a bit panicked about future, I am here now. But this is one of the most powerful sequences: love, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. Now, anything that I ask you to do will seem incredibly simple. But here's the thing: I could send you an email, type it up in a minute, press send, you've got it. 30 seconds later, you've received it. It seems like an incredibly simple process, but the complexity of what's going on underneath, there's a whole lot of complexity going on. So not only are you bringing yourself into the now moment, not only are you connecting with the intelligence of the heart in this intelligence heart breathing, you are also, if you do those words and that breathing for 3+ minutes, you are feeding that into your subconscious. You are dialing up your inner voice of knowing. You are directing your mind, because for those minutes that you're doing that, you are telling the mind what it's aligned with. It changes your emotional body. That's a powerful process. So the cutting of the cords and the cleansing with the Christ light, the heart intelligence breathing combined with those words is really powerful. Because remember, it's through that terrain of the emotional body, of the mental, of the energetic, that dials us up to that inner voice of knowing that becomes our source of support, wisdom, and guidance through your physical existence. And there is a sequence. When you build a house, you don't put the roof on first. We start with the foundations. And remember to remain open. Don't think, oh, yes, I know this stuff. Because if you're not living it in a whole-bodied way, where it's as natural to you to do as breathing, then we're still coming to know. So remember, the first time you go to the gym, if you've never been to the gym for years or at all, you haven't instantly built and strengthened muscle. It's the repetition, the application, the continual showing up that you start to see the results. And that's why we're starting with something that's very simple, getting to know your own energy and what it feels like. Bringing your energy and attention into the now moment. Aligning with the love, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. You're preparing the ground for those unconscious aspects to become conscious. So we're preparing the ground. We're preparing you energetically so that you can build incredibly strong foundations, get in touch with that inner voice of knowing, understand those landscapes, become a conscious creator and craft your life and understand the magnificence and the truth of actually who you are. Because you're not broken. You are more powerful than you currently understand yourself to be. And it will be a continual experience of deepening, amplifying, expanding, allowing, opening, remembering. So I hope you apply these for the next 2 weeks. Keep a record of how you felt before, how you felt during, how you felt after, because even in the examination of that, bringing that awareness, you are turning your vision back inwards. And that's what our journey is about, so that you can tap into that reservoir of wisdom, love, support, insight, power, potential, and truly, consciously create and craft a life you love within every area of your life. Thanks for taking this journey with me. I'll catch you on episode 3. Blessings to you. Join me on my next episode. And if you love this podcast, please subscribe by clicking on the plus button if you're on Apple, or like and follow on Spotify, rate and review, and please share Inner Voice of Knowing with your friends.